So I hope you all can see me, and you can actually reply to my questions in chat box. That way you can interact with me. At the same time, the others will not be disturbed. Okay, so you can please, my chat box is always open. You can please interact with me in the chat box. So Bhuvan Sai, thank you. Akshay, yeah, thank you, Akshay, for sending the message. Thank you. You all can see me, and you okay. Can you all hear me loud and clear? Can you please post it in the chat box? Can you all hear me loud and clear? Yes, Tarun, thank you, Tarun. Yeah, thank you. Jnana Deepika, Yuvraj, thank you, thank you. Okay, now I'll share my screen, and I have a small presentation to you all, and I have taken some efforts to make it a little interesting, but let's see how you are feeling about it. So can you all see this? Can you all see my screen? Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. So we will look into a very basics of entrepreneurship today. So the first part, I just wanted to start with this. What is the meaning of entrepreneurship? So basically the word entrepreneurship came from a French word, entrepreneur. And entrepreneur or entrepreneur, there are different versions of pronunciation, and the meaning is an undertaker. That is someone who's undertaking efforts or an initiative. That is the meaning how this word was coined. But do we really care on this? To my opinion, no. Let us go jump into the entrepreneurship thing. So this is just wanted to make it a point. That's all. So what is real business or entrepreneurship? So anybody who wanted to work for a vision, anybody who has a vision to achieve something, who has a dream and works towards this is not 9 standard, sir. Okay, Bhuvansai, this is not 9 standard. No, this is like I have a mixture of things. Okay, so just I've used all those things together to the basics. So it is not about doing what you are good at. Okay, entrepreneurship is not about doing what you are good at. So you might have a vision. You might be good at, for example, I'm very good at creating or cooking or something like that. So you can either take that as that passion of yours and create a business out of it. That is also good. But at the same time, if you can identify a problem or a consumer need, for example, in a street with a lot of pastry shops, if you can identify a need for a kind of another set of shops, then that is where your real market potential is. So entrepreneurship is when you have a dream, you have a vision, and you work tirelessly to achieve those vision. Okay, so when you take your dreams onto your hand and work for it, it is more of a feeling than working onto it. Okay, so this is entrepreneurship for you. And it is when I say it is not, so when I say it is not about doing what you're good at, it is, there are two perspectives to it. That is, one thing is achieving what you're good at, like working on what you're good at. So I will just close the chat for now. I'm just getting distracted. I'll answer your queries in between. Okay, sorry for that. So one thing is that you can work what you are very good at, what you're passionate at, and but when you think of it in a business scale, you need to identify, are you really solving a problem for another person? Okay, so if I am very good at writing stories, if I am really going to solve the problem of another person, yes, you can build a business around it. So here I'm not talking about achieving your dreams. I'm talking about how to make a business around your dreams. Okay, so that is where my perspective of things coming at. It is not what you're good at is where you have to work out. It is whether whatever you're good at, do we have a problem in the society in this particular field? If you're really good at computer programming, so do we identify a where a problem in the society which you can solve through this computer programming. There is various fields for it. It can be on ethical hacking, it can be on cloud computing, it can be on something else. So when you have a passion, identify a common public problem associated with this passion, and when you work tirelessly with your passion to address that problem, your business will scale up like anything. Okay, so that is where I write, but it can be related to the field you are good at if you are lucky to find the same. There are a lot of people who have started working on their passion alone without really identifying the business around it. Then they will not be able to scale after a particular point of time. So this is where we need to be more practical when we think into business. Okay. So here, the next part. So identifying the problem. So as I said, you should identify a real world problem. We will be going with a lot of problems now. Like I'll be sharing a lot of experiences here. And then we will see a lot of stories of entrepreneurs here, where they have all succeeded on is identifying a problem which is a real life situation to a lot of public customers, consumers, and they found a solution to the problem. So finding an idea is nothing, but finding a solution to any problem is very important. And even finding a solution and ideating it is alone not important. Implementing it and then scaling it. So that is where you become an entrepreneur. So you find an idea, you find a problem, you develop an idea around the problem, you make that particular idea as your dream, you implement it, and then you scale it. That is where the entrepreneurship is. Okay. So I will now introduce myself. My name is Srinath. I currently head the business for Velamal Knowledge Park, and I started my career as a computer engineer. I worked for a very brief period of 6 months after my college as a computer engineer, because when I was 16, I registered my very first company called Z's India Solutions, that is Extreme Excellence Evaluation Zone. C's India Solutions was my first company, which was giving training solutions to college goers. This was registered when I was in 16 years of age. And then during my third year of college, I started teaching in NIIT with computer programs. And after my college, for a brief period of 6 months, I worked in a company as a computer software developer. And then I started my own company called Seek Out. It was into training and development, which later developed into Seek Out Technicalities, which was into software development and web software designing. Which again, then after a while, then I changed it into Orchid Cube Branding Consultants, which was completely into branding and digital designing and marketing. So from there, I ventured out into yoga as a business. Like I started a venture with yoga. I took up a franchisee. So then I went into an investment for the franchisee. I worked on scaling up that business. And then I lost in few businesses. I gained in few businesses. And then I'm here working as a business head with Velamal for the past 5.5 years. So this is my profile with all my experiences for the past 14 years onto entrepreneurship and business. That is what makes me to give you a lot of experiences and real life scenarios about entrepreneurship today to you. Okay. So I'm not talking about book concepts, or I will not be touching of any of the management graduation programs or anything like that. Those are all one part of it. Of course, I have done my management from IIM, but those are all one part of it. I will be talking more of my real world experiences and what I have learned throughout the journey. Okay. Now, most of it, to start with this particular sentence was where I wanted to begin the session with. So when I started my first company, or when I started my private limited companies and things like that, I was always like questioned by my parents and relatives and the public, like, entrepreneurship is very hard. Why do you want to suffer with entrepreneurship and things like that? So actually, entrepreneurship is not that hard. It is like when you put your passion onto your work, the timing of work will not matter at all for you. It is not that hard. It is the mindset with which you are working with. If you're thinking, okay, I run my business and my business is very hard to operate, then of course it will be a very hard thing to operate for you. So you will actually enjoy being an entrepreneur if you set your vision very, very clearly. Form the right team. That is the most important thing. set your vision, form the right team, and successfully plan that vision to your team so that they make it a reality. So set your vision. Okay, Bhuvan Sai, this is not drawing, sir. Another sir say this time is drawing. Sorry, Bhuvan Sai, you are in some wrong session. Okay. Okay. So you will actually so this is what I was talking about, and you have to create a team and then put the vision rightly into that particular team. That is when you kind of scale it. So this is where entrepreneurship's very basics is coming up. These are few wordings which I kind of like a lot. One is entrepreneur is someone who jumps off a cliff and builds a plane on the way down. So it is like your entrepreneur is a risk taker. They take a problem, they identify a problem, they jump into the business, and during the process they kind of prepare a solution to the problem, and they execute the solution. So these are two very good quotes which I like. Next is entrepreneurship is living a few years of your life like most people won't, so that you can spend the rest of your life like most people can't. So maybe the first few years might be tough, and but when you really set the process right, you will be able to live a life which very many people envy upon. So these are just to start with. I'm going into the details. So now we can see some entrepreneurs now, like we can talk about a few entrepreneurs. How many of you know who this is? Like, just you can you're all grown up kids, you will be knowing by who this is by now. Yeah, so you can just put it in the chat. Sorry. Mark Zuckerberg, thank you. Yuvraj, the meeting ends in another maybe 40 minutes. Okay, thank you, Mark Zuckerberg. So I have a few entrepreneurs here of whose story I would like to share with you all. Okay, and so I'll start with Facebook. So first thing, if you can see this. So Facebook started in 2003 and 2004 as a company called FaceMash. So it was created as a college project, and to test like identify the comparison between two phases. So various friends phases were uploaded into this particular software, and they were comparing the phases of people inside the software. And by 2004 and 5, when Zuckerberg really got into the idea of social networking, where there can be a social platform to share a lot of things, that is where the Facebook got into the existence. And 2005 to 15, it tremendously grew as Facebook. And 2015 to 20, they changed their logo, styles, and everything. Now 2006 is when Facebook reached a valuation. Now this is where the data I want you to know as budding entrepreneurs. The other things are all there, but when you talk about a company, by 2004, the company then known as the Facebook Inc. was incorporated. So it was incorporated by 2004. The company was formed by 2004. By 2006, Facebook reached a valuation of 1 billion. So that is when Yahoo was offering 1 billion to take over Facebook, but Zuckerberg declined that offer. Within 1 year, the valuation jumped all the way up to 15 billion. Now, what do you call as a valuation of a company? If you are, I think you're all ninth and above graduates, so 9th standard and up to till 12th standard. So I can talk a little bit technicality of entrepreneurship as well. What do you mean by a valuation of a company is not but a combination of multiple factors. That is, what is the current traction? That means what is the current revenue generated in the company? How many users are using that particular company's product? On what consistency? So what is the market reachability? That is what we call as a market reachability of the company. How many users are using it, on what consistency, and what is the revenue generated from the company? And the third thing is, in another 3 to 5 years time, what is the projected revenue and the projected number of traction from that particular company? And what are all the various options which they are going to bring inside to achieve this particular projected revenue of the company? And also additional factor, what is the company's goodwill? So what is the company's goodwill? Okay, So it tells the net worth of the company. Yeah, Danya Sarathi, that is right. Thank you. How to be a successful entrepreneur. There is no tricks to become a successful entrepreneur. I can motivate you and I can tell you a few tricks, maybe a few technicalities I'll be sharing towards the end of this session. You can please listen to those. Okay. So 2006, the valuation of Facebook was into $1 billion, and $1 billion is almost like 7,000 crores of Indian money. And within another 1 year, it jumped to $15 billion. And in 2012, the company went IPO. So what is meant by IPO? It is that a certain percentage of shares of that company will be lent out to the public for buying it. Okay. So we as a public, we currently, any one of you, like if you are major, your parents can buy a share of Facebook and wait for a particular period of time where the share value increases. Now from 2006, those who have bought a share, if 2006 Facebook would have gone public, somebody would have bought a share of Facebook. In another 1 year, it jumped 15 times the money. If you are spending 1 lakh to buy a share of Facebook in 2006, by 2007, your money is 15 lakhs. So that is the kind of valuation the company said. Now that kind of jump is not possible right now, as Facebook has already reached its threshold. And through continuous innovations, Facebook has acquired a lot of companies like Instagram. They acquired Instagram, they acquired WhatsApp. They had started something called as Oculus, but it is not existing right now. And they have Workplace, a company called Workplace, a company called Portal, a company called Novi. Everything put together. Last year, they rebranded the company to Meta, which is another thing as Metaverse. Okay, so Metaverse is the new social networking of tomorrow, where you can virtually meet other people in a different world. So a different virtual world. Okay, so these are all a brief history of Facebook. So what started as a college hobby, comparing the pictures of two college students, so got into, so there when they were doing it for fun, Mark Zuckerberg identified a problem, that is a kind of a solution or a kind of an opportunity. I will say this is more of an opportunity, that there is a need, there is a lack of a social network where people can share their feelings and people can post what they are wanting or feeling. So that particular opportunity identification, that particular problem identification made Zuckerberg to build Facebook. Now, if you ask me whether there were no other social medias, yes, Orkut was always there. But that is where I recommend every children here to read the book 0 to 1. Okay, 0 to 1. Read the book. So I will be referring few books today. So 0 to 1 is a very, very interesting book where it talks about either building a company from 0 to 1, or when you copy another company, how you make that our company 10 times better than the other company, the existing company. Now, Facebook made themselves 10 times better than the other social media networks prevailing at that particular time. And that is how they got into the topmost position. Now we will see some few other people. So how many of you can say who this is? It's all very, very, what to say, very, very common people. How many of you can say who this is? Steve Jobs. Great. Okay, Steve Jobs. So he's considered as the all-time creative entrepreneur. Like it's because Steve Jobs gave a great deal of importance to design and creativity on his products. Okay, so he's called as a most visionary creative entrepreneur. Now, what he did, and I will want to compare my analysis of Steve Jobs with Bill Gates, because both were at the same time. So who is Bill Gates? The founder of Microsoft. Okay, so he's the co-founder of Apple. Yes, Steve Jobs is the co-founder of Apple, and Bill Gates is the founder of one of the co-founder of Microsoft. Okay, so here you can see the various timelines where both started. When Bill Gates started by 1985, and Steve Jobs, the Apple computer, started in 1976. Okay, the initial war of Apple computers was with IBM. So the blue revolution, they call it. So the blue revolution was the IBM's revolution of inventing a lot of computers and laptops, and sorry, computers at that time, sorry to use the word laptop, computers at that time. But Apple was consistently competing with IBM at that time for production of machines. Now, Windows came into existence by 1985, and from there on, as an operating system, Macintosh operating system as well as Windows operating system were competing with each other, and always Macintosh was having an upper hand in terms of design and branding and everything, wherein Windows had a lot of user friendliness as well as consumer query handling things and everything. So now this is another thing called, I will normally talk when I have an interaction with children, I normally talk the Microsoft story. So during his time in high school, Bill Gates' time in high school, he studied in a school called Lakeside, which is in Seattle. So that particular school was owned by an ex-army man, and from the money he got while retiring from the army at that time, that particular person, the owner of this Lakeside school, actually bought a computer to his school. Okay, that time the computers were a very rare asset in any schools, and it is a very, very costly affair. So when you read out the book called Psychology of Money, there's a book called Psychology of Money, which is a very good read. You will know how money works and everything, and how the in that the second chapter is called Importance of Chance in Psychology of Money, which is a very, very good chapter, which tells about this particular thing, that if at all Bill Gates was put into another school at that time, what would be the chance of he being a co-founder of Microsoft? So of all the people who learned high school in Seattle, there were a couple of people who were there in that particular Lakeside school, and two of them were Chris Evans and Bill Gates. So both of them were, obviously computer savvy, and Chris Evans and Paul Allen and Bill Gates, three people were there who are computer savvy. Unfortunately, Chris Evans passed away, and Paul Allen and Bill Gates co-founded Microsoft together. So if at all they didn't have a chance to work with computers during their high school age, so what is the chance of Microsoft? That is another question. So now we are not coming into that part. This is more of an entrepreneurial journey. So you can see a lot of journey here. Even Steve Jobs is concerned. He started Apple Computers, and after a particular point of time, if you can see here, September 1985, Jobs resigns from Apple because of a lot of disputes between the board members. There is something called as a board in every big companies, a board of directors. Because of the disputes between the board members, Steve Jobs resigned from Apple in 1985, and he returned back in 1997. After his return is the biggest revolution of Apple happened. That is 2001, the iPods got released. That release of iPod is considered to be the most biggest revolution of Apple in the modern times, actually. So this is a kind of a brief history. So you can see how entrepreneurs started from, both of them started from garages in their homes. Actually, they started from a very small garage. You can just check out the starting building of Apple, starting building of Microsoft. You would have seen it a lot of times in various pictures. So they started very small, and they had a very, very high vision, and they didn't limit the vision to a particular level. They didn't doubt themselves that after this, will I be able to scale myself up? They didn't doubt like that. So they wanted to conquer the world, and they found the right vision. They found the right team. They equipped the right team. They planted the vision to their team, and then they scaled up like anything. So this is what a characteristic of a good entrepreneur is. Somebody asked in chat, who is a good entrepreneur? Okay, so entrepreneurs are nobody. Like, the entrepreneurs are people who have a proper vision. They take action on that vision. They frame a right team. They create a culture in the team. They plan the value system and the vision to their team, and the team grows and scales up. This is what entrepreneurs do. Yes, Danya Sharati, yes, he had to make him return. They had to make him return, since even the sales department was confused with Apple. Yeah, they didn't have a proper product by then. So they were not innovating. So from 1985 to 1996, Apple didn't have much of an innovation to come into the picture. Okay, so there's a lot of time involved in this process. And if you see the story of Narayana Murthy, who is the founder of Infosys, they had to wait a long period of 9 years to get their first international customer. If you read out his biography, you will find like sometime by 1982 to 1991, they had to they programmed the software called Finacle, which is a banking ERP software. This Finacle to hit the international market, and for them to get the first international client, they had to wait for a period of 9 years. And at any point of time in this 9 years, they could have lost interest and gone back. But the vision of that particular entrepreneur stayed, and for this entire period of 9 years, they were very, very perseverant. And so that end of 9 years, they got their international order. And now, Infosys is one of the topmost companies in the world. So this perseverance is considered to be one of the biggest traits of an entrepreneur. If you believe in an idea, work tirelessly for that particular idea until it becomes success. Now, this is a modern entrepreneur. How many of you know him? Can you please put it in the chat box? How many of you know him? Can you please? Yes, Tarun, Ismail. Yes, Elon Musk. Elon Musk. He is considered to be the modern entrepreneur. Okay, so okay. So there is a lot of people. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So before we go into more details of Elon Musk, I just wanted to take a small poll. So there's a poll in front of you. So I wanted to know how many people are actually being present in this particular session. So I can see a count of 135. So just let us take 10 seconds of your time. Just answer that poll, please. 10 seconds of your time to answer that particular poll. Yeah, Akshay Sharon, he's a billionaire. He is a self-made billionaire. Okay, he started his business from scratch. Musk is the wealthiest person in the world with an estimated net worth of July 6, 2023 of around $248 billion. Yes. Jodi, thanks for the info. Yeah. So I could only see some 71, 72 people answering. Okay, so only those many students are there in this session, I think so. So we will, children, kindly just answer this particular attendance so that I know that you are here. Another 20 seconds. 20 seconds to go. Okay, so almost 83 people, 84 people have answered, and still they are answering. Okay, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you all. Thank you for this, taking your time for answering. Okay, now I know at least 85, 86 people are listening. Okay, so now about Musk. So there is a book called Elon Musk about his entire life history. There's a book called Elon Musk. It's a very, very interesting read. You can actually, if you are somebody who is interested on reading books, it is one of the most recommended books, I would say. Please go and read it. So it gives his entire empire. So as you can see, I have pulled out a photograph with all his empire. So he started from SIP2. So Musk in that book, as when I read that book, what I could understand is he was a very, very bright child. During his childhood, he had an identical memory, like he kind of reminds of everything he studies. He had a very visual and eidetic memory. So he started a company called SIP2 that was during the .com revolution. So there is something in the Silicon Valley called .com revolution. During the time when websites were launched, the people were purchasing .com domains like anything. There was a big a trend going on. You can read about .com revolution later. So during that time is when Elon Musk was also there in the Silicon Valley. He started something called SIP2, which was mostly into a software which is into logistic management. So freight management and logistic management. So SIP2 was launched with his brother in 1999, and he sold it after a particular period of time for $307 million, which is a very, very huge jump during those days actually. And here's where he, as an entrepreneur, Musk is also called as a serial entrepreneur. So what is the difference between entrepreneur and a serial entrepreneur? Entrepreneur is having one idea, taking that one idea into a particular vision and taking it into reality, scaling it up. Okay, that is one thing. Serial entrepreneur is somebody who works on multiple ideas and multiple companies. So Musk can also be told as a Nagaratnam. You can please put it in the chat, Nagaratnam, instead of raising your hands. Yeah, thank you, thank you. So Musk actually he's a serial entrepreneur. He initially started he worked really, really hard. He used to work for 20-21 hours a day and sleeps in his office itself. He might be called as a bad example for a kind of a work-life balance, but he created history. So his family life or other things, that is a separate discussion, but he created history with companies and being an entrepreneur. So SIP2 was sold at 307 million, and his share alone was $22 million from that particular sales. So this $22 million he could have taken. It is a big money at that particular time. It is in 1990s actually. So 2000, early 2000s. So that time this $22 million is a very, very big money. But instead of having that money and getting settled with his life and taking a retirement, he invested this entire money into another company, which was later called as PayPal. It was not initially PayPal. He started a company on terms of this financial transactions, and the same way there were other people who also started the company called PayPal. He started something called as X.com. PayPal was started by the two other founders. One of the founders wrote this 0 to 1 book actually. So these two founders founded PayPal, and they both combined together because both were literally the same services. At a point, they couldn't survive as kind of competitors. So they got merged, and PayPal was there. And when they got merged and PayPal was sold out for $1.5 billion. Okay, $1.5 billion it was sold. And then the entire money of PayPal, the entire money, what he got from PayPal was invested into SpaceX and Tesla. Now that is risk taking. Okay, so that time, can we at all the comforts, if we are getting such kind of $1 billion, will we be thinking about starting a company of making rockets? And he started it. He started a company to make rockets, which was a very high expensive company. He had a vision to send people to Mars. They call it as rats to Mars. That ideology was called as rats to Mars. So he started SpaceX, and one after the other, the projects were a failure. And at a verge of shutting down the company is when Musk got the order from NASA of $10 billion, which was a lifesaver for him. And again, parallelly, he was also working on battery cars of Tesla. Not only he successfully produced battery cars, he also produced the most efficient battery cars, which also the most powerful battery cars in Tesla. And there is a lot of stories behind that actually. So you can read out his book for knowing more. Today I have limited time, so I cannot share much of it. So this is his empire actually. Right now, he is the richest individual in the world with his personal valuations. So this is a live example we can see right now in our generation, who one of the best entrepreneurs actually, who was a risk taker, who took risk, who succeeded in it, who was perseverant on that, and then he succeeded in it. Okay, now these are also a few examples. You know who these people are? Like, I have written it down. These are two, Richard and Maurice McDonald's. So from the name itself, you can actually identify they are the founders of McDonald's. Okay, McDonald's founders. Okay, the below one is Ray Kroc. So Ray Kroc is not the founder of McDonald's. You can actually watch the movie called The Founder. That is a very, very interesting movie for entrepreneurs to watch. It is a story of McDonald's actually. So Ray Kroc is not a founder of McDonald's. Richard and Maurice McDonald's are the founders of McDonald's. They started the speedy system of delivery of food. Speedy system of delivery of food was patented by them. Then they couldn't scale it up. That is where I say finding a solution, finding an innovation, finding an opportunity, succeeding. Their particular restaurant was a huge success, but they couldn't scale it up. The secret of scaling up was not there with them. That is where Ray Kroc came into the picture. He was very, very desperate to set up a business, and he took their business and franchised it out. Now, why I would consider Ray Kroc as an entrepreneur is because he solved the biggest problem. See, now when you see McDonald's, okay, what is McDonald's into? What is McDonald's business? You can tell. Can you put it into the chat box? What is McDonald's? Sir, you zoomed the presentation, can't see them. No, I don't think so. I zoomed it. Fast food chain selling food, fast food restaurant. Okay, restaurant. It's a shop which sells food, chicken making. Yeah. See, you all know McDonald's as a shop which is selling fast food. Okay. But the actual business model of McDonald's is not a restaurant. It is real estate. Okay. It is real estate. That was coined by Ray Kroc. That is, McDonald's buys out prime properties in the particular in a city, and they have a condition that if you wanted to take out a franchisee of McDonald's, you will have to take out the franchisee in their property only as a rental. So they created enormous rental income by buying out properties, prime properties, renting it out to McDonald's franchisee people. They will give them back rent as well as royalties of the particular restaurant, and with that they buy more properties. So McDonald's is not exactly a fast food chain. It is one of the biggest land holders in the world, biggest real estate company in the world. Okay, that is the business model for McDonald's actually. So that is the problem they solved. Okay, so somebody, okay, Mohit, you are copying down the entire Google for me. Okay, which is okay, but you will kind of learn from it. Okay, and why I included Kentucky here is that he started his business when he was 60. If you could remember, if you could say, if somebody says to you the best time to start a business is when you are young, so that is a classic example. To say no to it is Colonel Sanders. So Colonel Sanders started his business when he was 60. He started this recipe of KFC when he was 60, and now see how KFC has grown. So these are few examples of entrepreneurs, few quick things. So I think another 15 minutes I will spend. Yeah, Aditya Gunashekaran, I hear this from Rich Dad Poor Dad book. Very good. Rich Dad Poor Dad, when you want to do business, see, that was one book my aunt, one of my aunts gifted me when I started my business. Okay, back in 2012, that book, I got that particular book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, from Robert Kiyosaki. And I read that book, which helped me a lot on my business journeys and how to understand how money works for you. And there is another book called Cash Flow Quadrant, which is also very, very important book. Which is also written by Robert Kiyosaki. Okay. So this is regarding, and you know, who is this actually? Can you please tell me who this is in the chat? Can you please tell me who this is in the chat, please? Our chairman, sir. Yes. So one of the most visionary entrepreneurs I have seen in my life, personally seen in my life, is none other than our chairman, sir himself. So 38 years back, he started when Chennai city was flooded with a lot of schools. He started a particular school. He strived very, very hard. He started Velamal with 183 students and 15 staff members. Now look where Velamal is. He had a vision to make the entire country talk about Velamal, his mother. So, and now the entire country is actually talking about Velamal. So this is a vision turned into reality. Okay, lakhs of children are studying in Velamal. Thousands of staff members are working. So this is something, a living example of a visionary entrepreneur you can take. So you can all take inspiration from our chairman, sir himself, actually. So he's a classic example of a very highly motivated, perseverant, visionary entrepreneur. Okay. Now, now people have asked, now let me go into the technicality for the next 15 minutes. Before going into that, people have asked me, like this few students are asking me, have asked me, what are the important traits of an entrepreneur? How to become a successful entrepreneur? So it's so simple here, having an idea or a vision. So your idea or vision or some is not something which you sit in a closed room and kind of get your idea or vision. It will not happen that way. So having an idea or vision, you'll have to really go out to the public. You'll have to understand what is the real scenario, market scenario, and then frame an idea from there where you can actually deliver and make a change. So making a change is the key word. Okay, putting that particular vision of making the change into an MVP. MVP is nothing but minimum viable product. Okay, minimum viable product. That means when you get an idea, it stays as an idea itself unless you work on that idea and make it into a product, which is a minimum viable product. Okay, you can learn about minimum MVP in online. So now then what you have to do is doing a SWOT analysis. You can just check online on SWOT. What is SWOT? Okay, SWOT. SWOT is nothing but strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. Strength, weakness, opportunity, threats. Strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. Okay, that is what is when you have an idea. See, I have an idea to start a coffee shop. Let's say, what is my strength to start a coffee shop? So have I understood the clear business plan? Am I getting some very special coffee bean from across the globe or something like that? Some specialty, some USP, unique selling point. Am I different from others? So that is my strength. What is my weakness? So I need to write down my weakness. And what is my opportunity? What is the market size? Where am I going to have this coffee shop? How many players are there in the market? We call it TAM, SAM, SOM. That is total acquisition. I'm not going into too much technicality. We'll deal it in the second session. So do a SWOT analysis. What is your strength? What is your weakness? What are all the opportunities you have in that particular area of business? And who is your threat? Other competitors? What is your threat? Okay, so what of other competitors is your threat? So this particular analysis is very, very important before you get into a particular business. Okay, so this is SWOT analysis. So children, if you are getting into a business, my advice to you is kindly do a SWOT analysis. Okay, then once you are very strong with your idea and vision, then you pick the right team. Okay, the right team, and then you train the vision to the team and motivate them. That's all you have to do. Now, before picking the right team, there are certain departments you need to structure. When you want to start a business is not something which you just go and tell everybody that today I've started my business. No, there are certain procedures to it. Okay, we will see to those procedures. Now, before that, I just wanted to share a few videos with you about entrepreneurship. So I just found some interesting things actually over here. So can you hear this video? Can you hear it? Can you hear the music? Can you please give me a text? Can you hear the music? No. Okay, just give me a minute. I'll stop my share and then share again. Okay, so I've stopped my share. I'll share again with the sound. Yeah, so now you will be able to hear this particular video. Yes. Now can you hear this music? Now can you hear this music? Yes, great. Okay.
Oh no! I'm lost! Where's the light? It just went away. What do I do? Help! We'll be stuck here forever.
Do not panic! Do not panic! We are trained professionals. Now stay calm. We are going around the leaf.
Around the leaf? I don't think we can do that.
Oh, nonsense. This is nothing compared to the twig of 93. That's it. That's it. Good. You're doing great. There you go. There you go. Watch my eyes. Don't look away. And here's the line again.
Thank you, Mr. Soil.
Good job, everybody.
Oh my, there's quite a gap, Mr. Soil. Shouldn't we tell the Queen?
I don't think we need to involve the Queen in this. She's got enough on her plate already. Training her daughter.
So this is one particular video which talks to you about motivation as a leader. So when my next slide is about leadership. So if you are going to being an entrepreneur is not you sitting and doing all the jobs. It's called self-employed. Okay, it is not called as a business. You will not be called as a businessman or a businesswoman or an entrepreneur if you are going to sit and do the jobs. So it is nothing but called as self-employed. Okay, so being an entrepreneur is very important. Being a leader is very important for being an entrepreneur. Okay, so you need to make others work for your vision. And how do you make others work for your vision? By guiding them, by supporting them, and by making them understand your vision. Okay, so there's one more video which I would like to show to you about yeah. So coming back to the presentation, so I think this was just a few videos for you. Taking risk, about taking risk, following your own path, motivating a team and leading your team and everything. Now we'll go into the technicalities. I think I have got another 6 to 7 more minutes. Now this is where I'm going to talk a little bit of the technicalities of entrepreneurship. Before we, again, there will be another session where I'll be detailedly in talking to you during this year as well. Okay. So the technicalities now, when you wanted to start a company, okay, so you have an idea, you have identified a problem, you have an idea in your mind, you wanted to make it into a particular company or something. There are different types of companies. Okay, there is a different types of companies. If you wanted to just put a board in front of your house and start a company, you can always start a proprietorship company. So there is no partners for you. You are your own boss. You only are there operating that company. You will have employees under you. You don't want to keep another partner with you. All these things are your intentions, and you are very clear about your idea. Then you can start a proprietorship company. Okay, a proprietorship company. Okay, so if you want, the next level is if you want to take in a partner. Okay, if you are weak in some areas, my next slide is about selecting the partner. Okay, so the next type of company is a partnership firm. It is called as a firm. Firm is a small level of company. Okay, a small revenue generating, a small company is called as a firm. Now this is partnership firm is nothing but two or more people coming together, putting an understanding that we will work together for this particular company and starting a small firm. Okay, so this is partnership firm. You need to register for this partnership firm. There will be a registered agreement and everything, but proprietorship, you don't have to do anything at all. And next level, when the firm is actually becoming a little bigger on terms of revenue and everything, you wanted to go into an investor asking for money, you wanted to go to a bank loan, your credibility will be little higher when it is an LLP or above that. Okay, LLP or beyond that. Okay, so LLP is a limited liable partnership company. Okay, limited liability company. Okay, limited liability company is LLP. Okay, so this LLP is not like a private limited company, but has every element of a private limited company. It is a proper company, but in a very smaller way. Okay, that is an LLP. Then OPC limited is one person company limited. So if you wanted to really make a company without any partners, that is in proprietorship, you made a just a firm with yourself alone. Partnership firm, it is with people. LLP is also with people, two or more people. If you wanted to really create a company for yourself alone, you don't want anybody else into that company as a director or as a founder, then you can go for one person company limited. So one person limited company, that is OPC limited. Then a standard company, a proper company, if you wanted to form, it is anywhere from two partners, two directors. That is where you call them yourself as director. From two directors to more directors, you go with a private limited company, which has been far and wide accepted as a proper company, as a proper institution, and banks will support you little more if you have a proper private limited company. And then once you achieve, like I said, IPO, okay, once you achieve a large amount of transactions and you wanted to let your shares to the public, where your public can come and buy the shares from you, it will be transferred to a public limited company. So these are all the types of companies which is available right now in an Indian scenario. And if really you are looking out for getting some money help for your company or something like that, what you have to do is you'll have to frame that idea, document it, prepare a minimum viable product, as I was telling you, prepare it as a project document, either form one of these companies, either proprietorship, partnership form, or any one of these companies, register them with MSME, medium and small scale enterprises. Okay, MSME. It is a government initiative. It is very easy for you to, you find any auditors, CA people, you ask them to register an MSME certificate for your company. You ask them to start a company for you and register it in MSME. You get the registration, just like within 2-3 days, you'll get the registration with a expenditure of some 1,000 rupees only. So once you get an MSME registration, you can take that MSME as a registered government document for your company and take it to banks. There is a lot of loan platforms like Mudra and startup segment MSME loans, which will give you up to from 2 lakhs to 10 lakhs. Okay, 2 lakhs to 10 lakhs you can easily get from banks itself without security for your business purposes. Then there comes a lot of other things. If you are doing a business of more than 20 lakhs, you will have to register with GST. Okay, goods and service tax, 18% or whichever is the percentage you will have to pay to the government. And if you are employing somebody from outside, or if you are giving some vendorship to outside, you will have to get the TDS. So my next session will be, will I be able to get this video? So ma'am, it will be kind of, it is live streamed in YouTube, I believe, ma'am. So we will share the link to you. Okay. So there is, in my next session, I'll be talking more about this MSME, GST, TDS, EPF, PF, Provident Fund, ESI, benefits for medical, TAN, tax identification number, PAN, permanent, like permanent identification number, PAN, all those things. So all these things we will be, these are terms which you wanted to take it into a company. So basically, the types of companies are this much: proprietorship, partnership firm, LLP, OPC, private limited, and public limited. So initially, from your stage, what I would suggest is, if you are going into a proprietorship where you don't have any documented registration at all, you can just start a proprietorship, go for an MSME registration. But if you are getting a partner inside, 2 or 3 people are going to start together, get a partnership firm, because there is a lot of procedures for other LLP, private limited, OPC, and everything. So to start a partnership firm, operate it until the revenue becomes a little higher, then you can go to the other private limited companies. So take an MSME registration. You can apply for the permanent account number. Yuvraj, thank you. You can apply for a bank loan, and you can just ask the support of banks to for your business to develop. And the other things are just, once you have more than 20 lakhs of turnover, then you will have to register yourself with GST. And once you are employing some other vendors or people, when you pay them, you deduct tax deducted at source, TDS. You deduct tax and then you file it. Then EPF, if you have employees under you, more than 15 employees under you with a salary package of 15,000 or less than that, you kind of register for EPF. All those things are there. So these we'll deal in detail. These are called as statutories. Okay, statutories. So these are technicalities. Now, selecting the right, another 2 more slides and I will complete my thing. Okay. So selecting the right partner. This is where most of the budding entrepreneurs find very, very difficulty in. Okay. So normally what happens, school friends, college friends, they kind of come together, they start a company. They share different visions actually. They don't have the same vision. They see the company from their own perspective. Okay. And they are bound together not by the vision but by their friendship. This is not a good partnership. Okay, even if you're friends or if you're not friends, unless and until you are bound by the common vision of taking the company's particular services or product to a very top level or a scalable level, you should both share, both or three people or four people, you all should share a common vision and you all should contribute equally to that vision. You should be competent enough to contribute equally to that vision. Okay, so just by like, okay, three, four people are friends. I have seen a lot of such stories. Four people are friends, three people form a company. Okay, they three have some intentions of some ideas or something like that, and they don't want the fourth person to be left out. So what they do, four people, we will start a company. So mostly these kind of friendships coming into business, actually it will not be the right way of choosing a partner. Always put the maximum thought process in selecting your right partner, because your partner can either pull you down or push you up. Okay, so it can build or kill your business. If you are good at one part of the business, for example, if you are really liking, you are really good at technology, and if you are really good at sales, you are not good at technology at all, and your business needs a lot of technology element, find a person who is very good at technology, speak to him, understand, make him understand your vision. If he is also aligning to the vision, you both can partner together, where this person will take off technology and you will take care of the sales and marketing. There are a lot of companies where one person takes care of the sales and marketing, one person takes care of the operations, one person takes care of the technology, one person takes care of the accounting. So they all complement each other to the development of the particular company. Okay, so this is how you select the right partner. And if you are looking only for money from a partner, please don't take it as a partnership. Be very clear. I have a business idea, I wanted to start a company, but I don't have money with me, so I need another person to partner along with me for bringing in money. Now it will be good in the initial stages, but going forward, this other person will be a hindrance to your vision. Only because this other person has invested money in the initial phase, even when your company grows up, you will be liable to be to take suggestions from this particular person. So if you're looking only for money, partner with a bank or a financial institution and not a person. Okay, or if even if your person is ready to invest money, treat them as an investor and not like a partner. So investor and partner differences we'll see later. Okay, there are a lot of facilities these days called mudra schemes, etc. So this is selecting the right partner. Okay, basically when you want to select the right partner, if you do a SWOT analysis and you write down all your weaknesses, if there are very particular weaknesses, you identify that technology is not my strength, it is my weakness, you can identify people who are very strong at that and make your partnership strong. Okay, that is the right way of doing things. And when you start a business, there are a few departments which you need to take care. The first among them is auditing. So when you wanted to start a company, find a good auditor. A small scale auditor is also fine, but somebody who is an auditor, you find them, you explain them not your idea but your intention to start a company. So they will advise you whether to start a proprietor, or if you have two people, start a private partnership firm and all those things. And they will help you to do the projections. So the business projection is very important. So from you are starting from this point, how will you grow? So these kind of projections are very important. Okay, so Yuvraj, not today. I'm kind of running late on time, so sorry. So then technology. So next auditing. After the auditing comes the accounting part. Day-to-day accounts has to be kept. Literally, I'll say when I started my first company, I didn't even think of accounting. Whatever money comes in, I'll take it as my personal salary. I'll give it to people. I will just spend it up. Okay, so that is not the right way to do to do a company. So whatever comes inside the company should stay within the company. You can take a particular salary out of it, and not whatever is coming as an income is not your income. It is a company's income. So these kind of realizations will help you when you start a company. Okay. So then technology, you will have to have a right technology, then production and service, whatever is your core. That is where the core comes in. Then the marketing and sales and support. All these things are very, very important departments. Okay. Importance of an MVP. So a minimum viable product is very, very important. An idea alone is not enough. I've already spoken about the MVP, so I'll skip this slide. For example, Byju's, if you see, the first 9 years of Byju's, they were just a free learning platform. They didn't charge any money at all. They were just giving videos after videos free of cost. Okay. And then that was their minimum viable product. When the investors came in, they had a strong minimum viable product to just sell out. Then they started making money. So this is the importance of a minimum viable product. Okay. So, and again, the last slide is this, the next slide. So this is one of my own theories actually. To become an entrepreneur, your personal branding is very, very important. Okay. So I'm also an entrepreneur and also a salesperson. So you sell yourself before you sell your product is a strong concept, which I believe. So when you go and sell a product, or when you go and selling a product is not like selling it to a customer. Selling your idea to a bank is also sales. To convince a bank to give you a loan is also sales. So they first buy you, your confidence level, your personality before they buy your product. So always personal branding is very, very important for you. So this is something which I have put up. So we call it as a VCP principle. Okay, VCP principle is a commonly available principle. It is called visibility, credibility, and then profitability. First, create your visibility, then create your credibility, then automatically profitability will be coming. That is the VCP principle. Okay, so according to the VCP principle, I have just categorized the entrepreneurial journey into a different types of animals. Actually, you can actually go to my blog srinath.kodotin, where you can actually take in a lot of articles on this particular thing. So a goose phase is wherein a goose, what do you call as a goose? I'll just take 2 minutes and complete this explanation. I'm not going to go detail into it. Goose, what do you see a goose? It is a white color thing or nothing. Like, it is always quacking, quack, 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 quack. That is a goose. So your entrepreneurial journey starts with a goose. Like, you tell your ideas, tell your business. You started a business, tell it to 1,000 people. I started a business. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. Quack, 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 quack. So that is how you start your business. Then the next stage is your personal branding. That is where I put rabbit. The cuteness, the looks matters a lot in a business. So if I'm going to come sit here with a round collar t-shirt, I have an attitude to show, those things are fine. But when I'm going to come and sit with a class 4 dressing, that the attitude I show will be a completely different attitude. So your dressing is very important. Your makeup is very important. The way you comb your hair is very important. The way you select your colors of your shirt is very important. All these things are very, very important for a particular entrepreneur to sell themselves, sell the confidence in the customer before they sell the product. So this is the rabbit phase. Goat is where we actually give the services. That is the credibility part. When you are promised a lot of things in goose and rabbit, now you need to stand up to those promises. That is where your real product and services come into, where you give the product, you create the product. When you create the product, the right product, and you launch it into the market, is when the wolf phase comes in, where there will be a lot of competitor analysis you'll have to do. A wolf is a very cunning animal. So you'll have to do a lot of competitor analysis, cunningness in your market placement. So that is where in IAMs and all the management schools, they teach us about blue ocean, red ocean strategy. Blue ocean is where you don't have any competitors at all. Red ocean is where you have a lot of competitors. Okay. So you'll have to be the right kind of wolf attitude to analyze your competitors and prepare better than the competitors, 0 to 1, 10 times better. Okay. Then comes the crocodile, where in crocodile, the way it hunts is it goes into the water, waits patiently. It knows prey will come to the water. It knows I have a good product, so that customers will come to me. And once customers come to me, I will grab them. So that is a crocodile marketplace. We call it as a marketplace. I have a good marketplace. When customer comes to me, I have the best skills in the world so that I can grab them. And then the cheetah, you know how cheetah hunts? When the deer is running, it goes to the side, it goes to the front, and then jumps to the deer. If you can see the channel. So whenever there's a customer who is going to come to a product, or you kind of go beyond them and then come back and grab. So the other things are like marketing and becoming the market owner. So those things I will leave it. So it is called as cheetah is called as a passive marketer. That is, you kind of for an example, you kind of create a conference. In a conference, you will talk a lot about, let's say, for example, I'm handling a, I'm doing it, like I was saying, I was doing a yoga business. So in a conference, I go and talk a lot about health and wellness. Some people will come and say, you talk a lot about health and wellness. So I say, yeah, I run a yoga brand. You can come and become a member. So that is the kind of passive marketing where you create your brand like top notch. You talk about it top notch, but you will not sell. And when the customers come inquiring about it, you sell your business. Okay. So these are a few things which I wanted to share to you. And I think we kind of saw through what is entrepreneurship, to briefly consolidate what is entrepreneurship, and then what are the various entrepreneurs we know, and what is the kind of hard work they have given all throughout this their lives. And then we thought of then we saw a little bit of the traits of an entrepreneur. Okay, about minimum viable product, about SWOT analysis and things like that. Then we saw about various different companies and what are the departments inside the company, and how personal branding is very important for your company. These are all very much the beginning stage of being an entrepreneur. Now, all these things, when you dive deep into it, the money management, the marketing management, sales management, all these things, when you dive deep into it, you become the top-notch business person. Okay. So whenever you have an idea, kind of like this time, we will be giving you a lot of opportunities to explore your ideas, to guide you on your ideas and everything. So I think I can entertain a few questions, but before, yeah, I always wanted to start a business of like Starbucks, a coffee maker. Yeah, the competition is very high. This is a red ocean strategy, Geetika. But if you work out your SWOT, strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat, if you really find out your strength in a red ocean strategy where there is a lot of competitors available in the market, like Starbucks, like a lot of other coffee makers. So understand where your USP is, unique selling point is, and you will be able to get it into it. How to get into Harvard or IIM? IIM is very simple. Harvard is, you'll have to write your exams about Harvard entrance exam. Like you can apply for SATs. You can get into Harvard with a very good SAT score. IIMs, once you complete your UG degree, you can write your CAT exams, common assessment test, CAT exams. There will be a CAT exam for IIM, getting into an IIM for a PG. Okay. So after your UG, you get into IIM for a PG. Okay. Chalk piece business is only, it's a very interesting thing. Aditya, it is a very, very interesting market study you have done. Work more onto it. If you really think there is a market opportunity, we will also support you on this. Okay. It's a very good marketing study you have done. Technology in medicine, you'll have to be specific, Mohit. You will have to be very, very specific. There is a huge revolution in technology in medicine going on. Huge revolution going on with a lot of HIS, hospital information systems, trackers, face IDs, and mass geotags and everything. So there's a big red ocean there. You can, but when you are specific, I can tell you whether it is a red ocean or a blue ocean. Okay. So any other questions? I can entertain a few questions here. Wow. Aditya, I would love to meet you sometime. Which school are you from? You can please post me which school are you from, Aditya Gunashekaran. Kolapakam. Okay. I'll meet you sometime, Aditya. Okay. Sure. So what is passive marketing? Passive marketing is nothing but, see, for example, if I wanted to start a kind of a digital marketing company. Okay, I'm running a digital marketing company where I do social media advertising is my service. Now, instead of going to a client and asking, can you give me social media advertising? What I'll do is I will organize a conference where I talk far and high about social media marketing. Okay, I can organize such sessions, workshops with a lot of business owners. I will invite a lot of business owners. I will talk about the importance of social media to them. So end of the day, they will understand that I'm very expert in social media, and they will approach me for getting their social media done. That is the way of passive marketing, actually. So you're not marketing a product directly, but you are creating a forum where your product is automatically marketed. Okay. Graphic design is a clear red ocean, actually. Affiliate marketing is a subsidiary marketing, actually. That's more into marketing. So we will get into it. Some of the blue oceans, yeah, I can say some blue oceans. Actually, blue oceans, yeah, when the first social media started, it was a blue ocean actually. When the first social media started, even now the metaverse is a blue ocean actually. Metaverse, the first player to actually launch metaverse in a very wide scale is Facebook. They even renamed the company to Meta because they identified a blue ocean sitting there. That is some example. Drop shipping, I'll have to check and get back Vedant on that. Drop shipping, I will surely get back. Vedant, you can tell me your school name. Drop shipping. Okay. Yes. So I just have how do you do marketing and social media promotion with less money? Okay, that is a separate discussion. Okay, less money. Drop shipping, I will give you Gabriel. Drop shipping, I will give you a detailed orientation on it. I'll have to check to it. Okay. So with that, it's 18 minutes past 7. Vedant. Okay, Vedant. Okay. It's an interesting number you have, Vedant. Okay. So I'm just putting you through another poll. So I would like to hear from you on this. If you there's a poll at your screen. Okay. So I just last 1 hour we have spent together. Not a lot of interactions on terms of voice, but I think I have seen a lot of messages and I have compressed a lot of data. I have compressed a lot of data into this. So this 1 hour wasn't enough. So anyways, but we will meet again with a lot more into this. Okay. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your feedback. I would really want others to give your feedback also. Yuvraj, yes, you have spoken about McDonald's. I'll give you an opportunity to speak about McDonald's, Yuvraj. Yuvraj, okay. Great. Great. Thank you. Thank you all children. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my knowledge with you. And of course, more sessions will come wherein we will have live interactive sessions also, where we will discuss about a lot of business ideas. Okay. Can I get your contact information? Vedant, you can actually talk to your particular school also, or you can just contact me from my website. It's srinath.co.in. It is here. Okay. Okay. So with this, we end the session. Thank you all. I'm receiving some very good feedbacks. Thanks a lot. Thank you. So we will, okay, just 15 more seconds before I end the poll. If there's anybody who wanted to just answer the poll, please do that. Okay, thank you. Bodhi Commerce has raised their hands. Is it a student or a staff or Bodhi Commerce? Is it a student? You can please unmute. Yes. Please tell me. No. Okay. Okay. Thank you all. I'm ending the poll here. Thank you. Thanks for the review. Thank you. Thank you.